Getting a new pet is such an exciting time. Looking at puppies and kittens online or in person is so much fun. Visiting shelters and finding that one dog or cat that looks into your eyes and sees into your soul can easily solidify your adoption choice. We all love the good feeling of snuggling with a new pet, but let's take a step back for a moment to put on our serious budgeting face. This doesn't need to last long, and I promise you can go right back to that over-the-moon, falling in love, snuggling my new pet face. But it is so important to make sure you are financially prepared for your new family member. As soon as you bring your pet home, make sure to call your local veterinarian to schedule a visit for a checkup and vaccines. The vet will likely give you a list of actions that need to happen in the first year, such as spay or neuter, along with many other things that are going to add up to hundreds of dollars. To best prepare for the first year of ownership, you can ask the veterinarian for an estimate of all the costs you can expect to incur. Before my family got Major, our Labradoodle, I asked the local vet for a breakdown of the first year of costs plus an estimate of annual vaccines and checkups. I used that information to make sure I had room in my budget for a new dog. But what about non-routine health costs? Unexpected things are going to happen to our pets. They may get injured, they may develop a long-term health condition, they may eat your socks instead of just carrying them around and snuggling with them the way my dog does. It is unlikely that you will get through your pet's life without some sort of emergency, so you want to think ahead about how you will cover that. Ideally, you should have an emergency fund set up for these unexpected costs. If you do not think you can afford to cover a $1,000 to $3,000 emergency vet bill, you should look into pet insurance. A few weeks back, we got these adorable kittens, Adrian and Felix. These cats came to our home free of charge, but that does not mean they didn't come with some initial costs. During their first few weeks, they needed routine checkups and vaccines. Their first visit to the vet cost us $50 per kitten. We had been planning to get kittens this spring, so I had room in my budget for this expense. What I did not budget for was my dog Major needing surgery at the same time. Just a few days after the kittens arrived, Major had a growth removed from his neck and the biopsy revealed cancer. The surgery and recovery cost us about $1,300, and the next meeting with a specialist was another $250, and that's before any long-term treatments that he might need. We do not have pet insurance, but fortunately, we had an emergency fund that allowed us to get through this expensive pet month. If we had insurance, a good chunk of our expenses may have been covered, though it depends on the type of coverage you buy. When choosing pet insurance, make sure you clearly understand what is covered and what is not. Not only can pet insurance help you save money on vet visits and medical procedures, it can also save you money on routine care for your pet. Many insurance companies offer discounts on preventative monthly medications such as heartworm, flea, or tick prevention. If you don't have pet insurance, you may still be able to get a discount on these type of expenses by purchasing them directly through your vet. Some veterinarian offices offer a discount for buying a larger quantity of medications. For example, if you buy 6 months of heartworm preventative, you get 1 month free. Some veterinarians use sites such as vetsource.com so you can refill prescriptions for your pets online at a bit of a discount. You may be able to save even more money if you sign up for an auto-ship subscription. Availability of programs that give you discounts on monthly prescriptions may be one of the factors you use to select your veterinarian. The hardest thing to accept about pets is that their lifespan is so short. We can budget for the early years and cushion our savings for the senior years, but what about those final moments? When the time comes, you will have to make some tough choices. If euthanasia is necessary, it can cost anywhere between $35 and $300 depending on the type of service you choose, including what you decide to do with the remains. I know this is incredibly difficult to think about, but you do want to be prepared with some savings for when the time comes. I remember when it was my dog Lexi's time to pass on. She had an aggressive form of cancer and she was in a lot of pain. She had stopped eating and shortly after stopped walking. I remember the difficult drive to the vet and sitting by her side in her final moments. I remember crying a lot, and I remember having a small funeral at our home where we decided to bury her. What I don't remember was what it all cost. I had a small emergency fund set aside for Lexi as soon as I found out she was sick, So when that awful time came, I could just focus on her and my family and not worry about how I was going to afford the services. As your pet ages or shows signs of disease, consider starting a separate emergency fund to cover some, if not all, of the expenses that lay ahead. Getting a new pet should be an exciting time, which should not cause too much stress, especially financially. Being prepared for the cost of healthcare for your pet is an important step in making pet ownership enjoyable. Check out our next episode when we explore what it costs to have someone else take care of your pet while you are away from home.